Okay. Ooh, that was actually kind of a good clap. Yeah, like, I don't know how these actually sound on the video, but in person, that had like a nice, like, ooh, we're 2 for 2. Good morning. Today is Thursday, December 12th, 2025. Oh, sorry. my brain got like distracted in a lot of different directions. But good morning, Thursday morning, blah. The couple directions my brain went in is that, number one, I know today is the 11th, outside of the fact that I wrote it down, is because I know tomorrow is Friday the 12th, because I've been looking forward to Friday the 12th, because that's Circus Day. I believe that's going to be episode 7, and the last episode was August. I think it was the day before my birthday was the most recent episode, and just like what a great episode it was. As much as I say that like episode 3 has my favorite moment in the series, and to this point it still does, I would say that episode 6 is my favorite so far. I have been really excited for episode 7. I have been dreading episode 7 because I know it's gonna hit me like a ton of bricks, whatever happens, but I'm stoked. And I think they said episode 8, it's coming out in like March or April, so there's gonna be another lengthy wait, but I mean, these have all been quality, so I would very much say they've all been worth the wait. So that was one thing, like one direction my brain went in. The other one is that it's Game Awards Day. And it is one of the things I wrote down, was to talk about the Game Awards just a little bit. So I guess what I'll say is, number one, when it comes to the Game of the Year nominees, I think the only one I've actually played is Bonanza, and I didn't finish it. And that's, genuinely, that is not Bonanza's fault. When I do my end-of-year tier lists, which, I don't generally do till, like, January. They were later this year just because of my trip. But I'll probably try to get to them in January. I'm going to have to add a new tier, because I have what I like to call the Snoop Dogg tier for anything I've actively dropped, because I've dropped it like it's hot. I think I'm going to have to add like another version of that, which are things that I just stopped. Not that I actively said, I don't like this anymore, I'm dropping it because it's made me mad or it's frustrated me, but things that like I was enjoying and I was like getting into, and then for whatever reason, mostly it was like because of my trip and the going back and forth and all that, I just kind of stopped. And I'm tentatively just going to say it's going to be the Dio tier, because like time stopped regarding this thing. But like that's what happened with Bonanza. The game was fun. I really liked rolling around as a big monkey and punching things. I think the only thing I upgraded was my punching power, and then when I got it to max, I was like, oh, okay, sonar. It was fun. And I do want to get back to it and finish it. Hopefully earlier next year, because I don't think I'm going to get to it this month, but we'll talk about games here in a sec. But my point is, it is the only Game of the Year nominee that I have touched. So I really have no dog in the fight. I'm not like, man, I really hope you win. I really hope you lose. But I will say this. Like, Clair Obscur has been nominated for everything, and it's a game I really, really want to play. I was kind of hoping I would get to it this month, but I'm currently in the middle. I'm not even in the middle. I'm relatively still early, I think. But I'm playing something else, so I'm not going to touch Expedition until I'm done with this other project, that being Stellar Blade. Like I said, we'll get to it in a bit. But, it's phenomenal. It's been nominated in like damn near every category. I believe it has set the record for most nominations at this awards ceremony, just like in its history of the Game Awards. So, yeah, sorry, I'm looking a lot. It's very dry. Dang it. I actually, like, thought to bring a water bottle, and deadass thought I did. I guess I didn't. Oops. My brain went in that direction, and I guess let's circle back with it. But, I will not be surprised if Clair Obscur wins. My money is still on Silksong. With just the sheer amount of hype for that game, the like mythos behind the game. And I'm not talking about the actual in-game lore, but just the, when is Silksong coming out? Is it ever coming out? Like Silksong is just a meme, like it's the new Half-Life 3, which is still like the Half-Life 3 still doesn't come out and all that. Unless Half-Life Alyx counts, but I don't think it does, but it almost kind of does, and I'm not sure. But anyways, it was this whole, like, big thing, and then it finally came out, and apparently, because I haven't played it, because it's not my type of game, to be honest, but, like, it looks incredible, and apparently it was, because everyone was playing it, and everyone loved it, and it, like, crashed Steam, because people couldn't, like, you couldn't stop people from buying it. And people were telling the devs, like, how did you guys make this? This is incredible. Please let us give you more money. And they said, nah, we good. Which is incredible. Like, that's awesome. And I'm like, with just the hype that this game had, and the fact that it delivered the way that it did, like, my gut tells me Silksong is going to win. And I guess in a sense, like, I hope it does, just because I want to be right. But aside from that, if it's like, no, yeah, it is Clair Obscur, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad if it goes to Hades or Death Stranding. Like, I had some friends who were playing Death Stranding too. I'm like, oh, gosh, when did that come out? I want to say March? No. It was close to, like, April or May. But whenever it was, like, they loved it. And they were just telling me about some of the stuff in the game. They showed me the Doll Man sequence. If you know, you know. Like, look, I've got a lot of other stuff on my plate. I don't want to add Death Stranding 2, because that means I also have to add Death Stranding 1. And I don't mean that in any way against Death Stranding 1. That's just other stuff I have to do to get to this other stuff I'm adding to my list. But yeah, this seems really cool, and it's like got that Kojima brand weirdness that I just love. So I'm not going to be mad if Death Stranding wins. I think it'd be really funny if DK won. We're like, oh yeah, it's all about like Clair Obscur and Silksong, and Hades 2 has all these other noms, and like, Death Stranding has all these other noms, and Kingdom Come Deliverance is something I've heard like nothing about, but apparently rules. And they're like, no, it's Big Monkey Game. Like, I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun. But I genuinely have no dog in the fight. Horse in the fight. That's it. Sorry, because like I remember having a conversation about that saying some time ago. And it's like, yeah, saying a dog in the fight, people know what you mean, but it is a really like fucked up phrase. And then there's a variation on that, like, I don't have a horse in this race, which, I mean, the horse is still getting whipped. Like, it's not ideal, but it's at least a better image than a dog in the fight. And then I think it was my friend Tyler who was like, you know what? The phrase we should use instead is like, I don't have a horse in the fight. Because people will still know what you mean, but will also just be kind of, wait, what? And I kind of love that. So for Game of the Year, I don't have a horse in the fight. But what I do have a horse in the fight in, what a weird phrase, is some of the trailers I hope we see, and like I'm expecting to. Like, I'm expecting we'll see GTA 6, but I'm not a GTA guy. So it's one of those, I hope it's there to make people happy, but I don't personally care. I hope we see some new Tokon stuff, because I don't think there have been any character reveals since the initial trailer. Like, not even at EVO. So I'm hoping we get at least one, maybe we'll get like another 4 or so, but we get some Tokon characters. As for who I'd want to see, I'm not sure off the dome. I don't know. Like, my brain was just like, I think we're gonna get someone. I don't have a horse in the fight as to who we get. I just hope we kind of get someone. As much as I would love to see a new Smash Bros, because we're gonna get one at some point. Sorry, felt something on my eye. I don't think we're gonna see it debut at the Game Awards. I would expect it to debut in a Nintendo Direct, and then we might get like a character, like during its cycle, we'll probably get a Game Award reveal or two. but I'm not expecting an announcement for it. Maybe for the new Final Fantasy VII. Like, I don't know when Part 3 is supposed to come out. Like, maybe that gets something. But here are the things I really care about. I'll give like 2.5, and I'll start with the half. Because this is one of those I know people like really want. And it's one of those, like, kind of like with GTA, where I would like to see it for other people. But I also would really like to see Bloodborne 2. Because I'm not a big Souls guy, and I've talked about that a few times. It's just not my thing. I really liked Bloodborne. Like, Bloodborne was awesome. So, like, if it's just like a Bloodborne remaster, that's cool because people actually get to play the ding-dang game again, or like a PC port. Cool. I'm probably not going to go out of my way for a remaster. Bloodborne 2? I probably would, because I thought that game ruled. Now while I'm thinking about Souls games, that, like, Lies of P Wizard of Oz thing, and I don't, because I know that's teased in the original game, and Lies of P got DLC that wasn't Wizard of Oz, so I don't know if that's supposed to be a sequel? I would kind of like to see that, because Wizard of Oz Souls sounds dope as hell, especially, like, with how fresh it is in my mind, having like rewatched Wizard of Oz alongside listening to Dark Side of the Moon, which was awesome, watching Wicketer, which was significantly less awesome, and Return to Oz, which ruled. Yeah, I would kind of go, I'd be down for Wizard of Oz Souls. But the two big things I want to see, number one is Persona. Whether it is showing more of the P4 remake, finally showing Persona 6, crossing my fingers for both. That would make me a very happy boy. Because I love me my Persona. We'll throw Metaphor 2 in there. Because, man, I loved Metaphor. Like, I knew I was going to like it. And I was like, yeah, like, it's an Atlas RPG. It's very Persona-ish, but it's still doing its own thing. Like, I'm expecting to love it. I did not think I was going to love it quite as much. Like, I guess it's better to say, I had really high expectations, and it somehow still exceeded those. So, if there's, like, a Metaphor expansion, I'll probably play it. If there's a sequel, I will definitely play it. I don't want to say I'm not as hyped for that as I am for a new full-on Persona, but it's more of a, I'm expecting Persona. Metaphor would be a very pleasant surprise. The other thing is Kingdom Hearts. Come on, man. It's been 82 years. I don't know, like, when was KH4, like, first shown? I want to say, like, 22, maybe 21. It's been a while. I got that Kingdom Hearts itch, you know? There's that part of me that's like, I kind of want to do another playthrough of 2. I feel like I want to do a playthrough of 2 more than a playthrough of 1, because I played 1 again last year, kind of around this time. And when I did the data fight, when I did the data fights in 3, it was also around this time of year. So, I don't know, I guess, like, November, December is just kind of my Kingdom Hearts period. So, I'm like, I kind of want to replay 2. And I have a friend of mine who's like, you know, I still haven't done those data fights in 3, and I kind of keep wanting to, but then I don't, because there's, like, a lot of stuff I need to do. Like, I'm still not max level in the game, so I gotta grind for that, and then, you know, I get the ultimate weapon and all that. And I'm like, yeah, but look, man, I got a lot of criticisms of Kingdom Hearts 3, but those data fights are really good. And man, Yozora is, like, so hard and just so insane. But it's fun, man. Like, I want to see you do that, and then watching you play, I'm going to ask to, like, pass the sticks, and not a, let me show you how it's done. It's just like, I want to play this shit. So, like, I am in that mood, in that zone, and, like, I really, like, need to see KH4. Now, I don't need to. But, man, show me that Star Wars world. Show me that lightsaber keyblade that I've been wanting. I think I want Kingdom Hearts more than I want Persona, but I feel like I would expect Persona a little bit more. So that's my Game Awards thing. Other stuff. Book. So Orichalcum, Isla. With Orichalcum, I believe I've said, like, I've tried to get some art pieces commissioned, and I've gotten some of them commissioned. I just actually have to start posting them. Whoops. Need to get on that soon-ish. Excuse me. And I've also mentioned that I've had some, like, blogs that I reached out to, and 2 of them, I did get the reviews back. Funny enough, both of them were Monday. I think one was, like, Monday afternoon. No, because they were around the same time, because I saw one of them and then, like, read through it, and then, like, an hour or 2 later, I got the next one. And yeah, they were both really positive. And it's just nice, you know? Like, to get that validation, but also just that sense of, like, reading people's blogs. And yeah, I reviewed their review policy, and they very much say, like, hey, this is for an honest review. This is not, so, like, I'm not gonna just give you a glowing review. I am going to like, I might be still nice even if I'm being critical or if I didn't like it, but I'm not gonna, like, really sugarcoat to hurt, like, to help your feelings. This is what I thought. And for them to both be really positive, it does mean a lot. Like, oh, right, I actually did make something good. Man, really hope I don't drop the ball when I write book 2, which I need to do. But I'm working on something else, which is other book, because I am working on Isla. And that is like a double-edged sword. Which I remembered a line from A Series of Unfortunate Events. I believe it's like bitter as wormwood, sharp as a double-edged sword, or like sharp as a two-edged sword. And the one edge of the sword, the good edge, is like, yeah, I'm really glad that I'm doing this because I really like this story. I like its themes. I like its cast. And I guess what I mean is, like, the double-edged sword isn't the fact that I'm working on it. It's the fact that I'm actively posting it as I go. And aside from at the start where I'm like, I've got a little bit of a backlog, like, blah, 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 here we go. I am trying to post every 2 weeks with the next chapter coming out tomorrow. And the good side of that is it's making me write it. Like, I have to, like, take days where I sit down and I write and I, like, really think about how I want to make the story better and some of the changes that are going to happen, like just changing the prose. Because looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, this is, like, I think the story still works. There are some changes that are happening, but for the most part, it's, like, basically the same. The characters, more or less the same. And the themes, like, also, like, the same. Like, that stuff all works. And I think a lot of the dialogue still works. Although some of it is definitely like, yeah, that's meant to be a joke and it's just not funny, or I don't think it's placed in the right spot. But I think the actual prose is just not very good. So I'm like, I thought this was going to be a lot easier and a lot simpler, because it's not just that I have a framework, like, the stuff is literally there. It's just to gussy it up a bit and, like, make it flow better. Man, I feel like I'm almost rewriting everything. And part of that is me, like, am I overthinking this? Or has it actually been all trash the whole time? Like, all of that. But I'm actively sitting down to write it. And that's good. The bad edge of that sword is when I get to moments where I'm like, I could have sworn I talked about, like, this specific thing 4 chapters ago. What do you mean I didn't talk about this 4 chapters ago? Like, this like, here, this is where, like, this would logically go here. Why is it all the way over here? And it's the kind of stuff that happened a lot with Orichalcum, where I'm like, huh, this is actually an inconsistency. I need to fix that. Or, huh, this would have made more sense in a different part of the book. Man, really glad this didn't, like, no one actually published this yet so I can fix the problems. But now that I'm like, yeah, I am self-publishing chapter by chapter. I'm like, yeah, like, I still have total control over that. But also, it's, if I go back to fix things, I almost feel dirty about it. And so far, they've been kind of more minor things, but there's other things where I'm like, how the hell did I not actually write down what his level was? I could have sworn I did that. What do you mean? Like, dang it. Like, that's like such an easy thing to go back and fix, but that's a really big deal. So I think what I want to do going forward is, if I do make some of those retroactive changes, to specifically note in the next updated chapter, or like the next uploaded chapter, hey, by the way, this is like, I changed this here, like I added this stuff here. I'm sorry, like I want to be honest about this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, like some of this stuff I kind of have to figure out as I go. This shouldn't affect like real big story beats or like character beats. I'm sorry. Just all of that. And that part like sucks and can be frustrating. But I am glad that I'm finally sitting down to write it. And also, yeah, I remember back in like April, I was like, I can do a book a month in reviewing Isla. Surely this will not be that difficult, because I really did not understand just how much needed to be edited. This is not just, oh yeah, it's like a proofreading change. It's almost like an entire rewrite. But basically, but again, like the story and characters and themes are the same. It's just like the actual prose, which is a lot. So, like that's all of that. So, in terms of games, I did finish ZA. I made my video on it. I played through It Takes Two with my friend. I've not done a video on it. I'm kind of on the fence. Like, I want to, but I don't feel as like I need to talk about this the way I felt like I needed to with Pokemon. Also, I did ask, I was like, would you want to do the video with me? He's like, I think I'm kind of good. And to be honest, I feel like it's, given like the way the game works, I think I would rather talk about it with the person I played it with than by myself. So I might talk to him about it again. And like, not to pressure him, but just kind of like a genuine one more time. And if he's like, no, I really don't want to, okay, totally fine. Maybe I will still do it solo. But if he's down, I'd really like that. So those two are done. Pokemon DLC dropped. And I was, because this was what, I think, so it came out yesterday. And so like Tuesday night, I was seeing like, okay, here's the megas. The data mines were right. Here's what they are. Here's what they look like. Here's the typings, the stats, all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm close. I'm really close to caving and maybe doing this. Because I know I just like recorded my video talking about how much ZA was not fun to play. But it's interacting with my ADD again. I'm like, I want to play this shit. But I started Stellar Blade, and it is fun. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and I don't want to stop just to play Poke. Like to spend $30 on a DLC. Then yesterday, I played some more Stellar Blade. I will also say before I get into Stellar Blade, me and my buddy have also started Split Fiction. We've only done like the first level. Like the kind of basic stuff, and then the big like Cyber Ninja level, which I will say I hated the boss because I'm like, look, controlling the bike down like a straight line was fun. having to navigate it for a whole boss fight, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, this is just kind of frustrating for me. But the level was still really, really, really cool and really good. I think I'm going to really like Splitty Fitty. But Stellar Blade. So I had a 4-hour session yesterday. Because I was like, I did not play it on Tuesday, and I really wanted to, and I've been looking forward to playing it today, but I have a lot of writing I need to do. Okay, I'm going to sit down and play this game for a bit. And I, didn't want to stop. Because I was actually having fun again. And not to say that It Takes Two wasn't fun. Because that's something I'm playing with someone else, to me that's almost like a separate category. But just sitting down by myself to play a game I was looking forward to and to say, oh my goodness, I'm having fun. I am excited to run around this environment and find stuff. Whether it's just like, hey, here's an enemy camp and you can fight some enemies and then solve some block puzzles, or hey, you found a thing for a side quest and if you follow it, you do you find a new little area, and then I do that and okay, cool, you just unlocked a shop that sells really important material. Oh, cool, I'm really glad I did this. Then keep going down the road. Oh, hey, that's a boss I fought earlier. I wasn't expecting boss rematches to just show up in the story, and man, he dropped some really good material, and I have a build that I'm doing, which was not conducive to fighting a boss, because I'm doing a stealth build, and I kicked the boss's ass anyways. What do you mean I can play a game and have fun? Wow, ZA! How did you not get this right? So I have not bought the DLC. I do not intend to do that until after I finish Stellar Blade. To be honest, I'm probably going to try to finish Bonanza before I do that. And I might play Clair Obscur before I finish Bonanza. I'm still not 100 on that. But it's just that, man, it feels nice to be, genuinely falling in love with a game. Because I just want to, run around and do shit and fight. The game is letting me play it however I want. And that's just nice. Speaking of things that are nice, the Thunder are good. And I know we all know this if you follow basketball. 2 years ago, they were the 1 seed in the West, went out in the second round. Sucks. Last year, they won the title. Won, 68, 69 games. Had, set the record for, margin of victory or, net rating. It might have been both. Really good team. We're now 24-1, which is the same start that the Warriors had in their record-breaking season. Although, technically, they went 24-0. They were 24-0, then lost the 25th game. We lost a game around, I don't remember. It was to Portland. I remember it was the second night on the road back-to-back. But I don't remember what game it was. We were 12-0, 13-0, somewhere in that range. Maybe a little further along. I'm man, we're good. We beat the Suns by 49. And the last time we played the Suns, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we only won by 4. Damn. This does not mean we're going to just cakewalk our way to a title. The Lakers still have a good team. The Wolves gave us a lot of trouble in the playoffs last year. I know that sounds maybe weird to say because, we won in 5 games. I think the first 2 were blowouts. But I remember they beat us by 40 in their 1 win. And then I think it was game 4 came down to the wire. And I think we've only played them once so far this year. And that was a game that went down to the wire. The Wolves can give us a fight. Our first 2 games of the year went into double overtime. And one was against the Rockets, who were a good team. I don't know if Wemby's healthy yet. He might still be out. But, a healthy Wemby is always going to be scary. And, yeah, the Nuggies still have Jokic. And then like, who's good in the East right now. Like, I know the Pistons are really good. Like, look, even if we do kind of, like, cruise to the finals, we still have to win the ding-dang thing. Because whoever comes out of the East is still going to be, like, battle-tested in their own way. But I can't lie. Having, like, a really good season that fell short, and then finally getting that championship, and then looking even better? It's exciting, man. Like, after all, like, this feels like vindication after KD left. And also for just even the KD years where it's like, man, this team is really good, but we just can't quite finish. Either someone is injured, and so we're not able to finish a run, or we get to, like, the conference finals, but we can't get to the finals the one time we did, and then we lost. And then after he left, it's like, all right, well, out in the first round. To finally, like, be at the top and to stay there, at least for now, feels really nice. Also as a Saints fan, and just, boy, a lot of that heartbreak in the past decade. Like, let me have this. I guess speaking of football, well, I'll talk about college first because that's really easy. Sooners did make the playoffs. Yay. We're playing Bama in the first round, who we already beat. Yay. Let me also say, that does not mean I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna, like, we beat them once, we're gonna kick their ass, because it was, like, a really close game from what I remember. I think we won on, like, a pick 6. But they are beatable. Georgia certainly showed that. Like, we've shown that. I feel it's the kind of thing where I'm not like, oh, I feel super confident about it, but I don't feel scared. It's like, yeah, like, our chances of winning are just as good as theirs. As for, like, the committee's decision and all that, like, I'm not gonna go into that as much because I'm not a huge college guy. Like, I kind of, like, I follow the season, but, like, look, this happens every year where there's like, oh man, here's the teams that should really make it, and then someone gets snubbed. It happened in the 14 playoff. Of course it's gonna happen in the 12. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. When it comes to the NFL, the Saints won a game. We've won 3. I wasn't sure we would get that high. Like, man, it's nice. It's nice to go on the road and beat a division opponent, which I think is also what we did to Carolina. Because I think, like, we lost to the Bucs, I think, in our house by, like, 20. We lost to the Falcons in our house. So, I don't know. We'll probably lose to the Panthers in New Orleans, but beat the Falcons in Atlanta. I guess I'll take it. But, like, it hasn't been a great season. But like I said, like, I wanted to have hope, and Shuck has had some good games, and, like, those 2 touchdown runs, like, really long one at the end, like, that was really cool. It's the kind of thing that maybe gives me hope. I'm scared of having hope with the Saints right now, but we'll see. But I don't have to have hope, because we're eliminated this year. And that almost feels nice, like, merciful. I don't have to keep, like, staying on the edge of my seat going, I know we don't have a chance, but we technically do. No, we don't. There's no strings attached. This is a year that has felt very wide open. Between the Eagles looking dominant, but not that dominant, and then losing, the NFC North and the NFC West just being like, everyone is good, except for the Cardinals and the Vikings. But even then, it's like the Cardinals will self-implode, and the Vikings are, like, almost good, but it's not quite there. And then, like, the NFC South is just kind of the NFC South. And the AFC, okay, like, New England is good, Denver's good, the Chiefs are falling apart, the AFC South is weird. What division am I missing there? Oh, yeah, and then the AFC North. And the AFC North is just not good. But, like, it has felt very wide open. Because even the good teams, for the most part, don't feel dominant or, like, really unbeatable. Like, there's none of that, like, aura or mystique this year. Because the two teams that should have it, like the Chiefs and the Eagles, both of them are really messy. Chiefs could actually get eliminated this week. And on the one hand, like, that's really fun and I enjoy that. But on the other, there's that part of me that goes like, so what is the storyline of this season? Because with how dysfunctional the Chiefs have been, that is definitely a big storyline, like the fall of the evil empire. Unless they're going to go on some run and these miracles are going to happen. It's like, oh, look, they still have that main character energy. Yay. But what if the reason this season has been so weird and wide open is because the main character hadn't arrived yet? What if this is a story that is all about redemption? It is about Indiana Jones, a much maligned player, having a really good year, living up to that first round pick pedigree, living up to that contract he got with another team. But then he gets injured. And the person who steps up to save the Colts is 44-year-old Grandpa Phillip Rivers. The dude who never played in a Super Bowl, but had all that talent, all those numbers, had a great career, but never made it to the big game, finally steps up and delivers. What a season that would be! What a playoff run that would be! It's like, look, my team's eliminated, man. I don't have some of like, oh, I gotta root for this team right now. Although it's like, yeah, like I would like to see the Bills like finally get one. I'd like to see the Lions finally get one, just like as a neutral fan. But also as that neutral fan, like, dude, if Phillip Rivers actually does this, and to complete the redemption arc, we have the redemption of Indiana Jones playing super well. Rivers finally getting to play in a Super Bowl. We also get the redemption of Anthony Richardson catching or throwing the game-winning Hail Mary in the Super Bowl. Let's go get some real Hallmark Disney Channel original movie magic bullshit. I am all for it. Oh my goodness. Like, could you imagine if that happens? Just wow. Like, I am excited just thinking about it. So football's weird, but football has been very, very fun. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then so in terms of movies, I watched Wake Up Dead Man. I did a video on it, which I think I'm going to upload like here in a bit today. Watched FNAF 2, which, because I remember last week I was like, yeah, like I need to talk about like some of the movies that are coming out in December. I completely forgot about Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't remember if I brought up Wake Up Dead Man. I don't think I did. There's also the like Kill Bill compilation, which like I want to go see because I love Kill Bill, but I think I've kind of already missed it, unfortunately, but you know, just kind of the way the cookie crumbles, but I would love to actually see it. But yeah, Wake Up Dead Man video is done. FNAF 2 video needs to be recorded. I don't know when I'm going to get around to doing it, but I definitely want to. So I talked about how Avatar is coming out, and like I want to go see it because it's going to be a great cinematic experience. I don't know how much I will enjoy the movie, but we'll see. The one thing I heard is that apparently they're taking like more risks or something, where I'm like, okay, cool, so maybe it won't just be the same movie again. Maybe it'll be something that gets me actually invested, and I genuinely hope it does. But if it doesn't, At least it'll be a cool amusement park ride. It's like 3 hours and 19 minutes. This is so long. Oh. Well, there's that. I talked about the David movie, and there's that part of me that's like, look, I love the story of King David, so a good adaptation would be awesome. But I'm just kind of afraid it's gonna be, like, it's gonna feel too preachy and less sincere, you know? And that's kind of where I'm at with that. There are a couple movies coming out next month that I'm interested in. Like Iron Lung, I do want to go see it. I want to see what Mark was up to. And I say that like he and I know each other. There's that. And I definitely want to watch Return to Silent Hill. I don't know if it's going to be good. It probably won't. But I still really want to go see it. I'm not going to go see Primate as much as I think it's funny as like it's the monkey horror movie. I'm like, I don't really want to see it. I just think it's fun that it exists. But speaking of movies that are fun that they exist, there was a movie coming out this month that I forgot because I knew there was something big coming out on Christmas. Because not Avatar. Avatar comes out on the 19th. And there's David, but I knew there was something else. Anaconda. I feel like I've said it at some point on this channel. Because I feel like I probably brought up Anaconda before, like when I first learned that it existed. That one of my favorite line deliveries that just lives in my head rent-free is Jack Black and Nacho Libre saying, Anaconda, squeeze! And anytime I think about this new Anaconda movie, I think about that. And just the way Jack Black says the word Anaconda. And like, like, do I really want to spend Christmas Day watching Tropic Thunder King Kong-esque Anaconda? Yes. I don't know if I will. But yes. Like, I think about Mr. Krabs and the soda drink cat. Like, am I really going to defile this grave for money? Of course I am. That's kind of how I feel going to watch Anaconda. Oh my gosh. Maybe we could do a double feature of, like, David and Anaconda. Oh my gosh, what a wild double feature that would be. Oh, man. Oh, now I have to do it. Okay, I don't know if I will. But the temptation is strong. It's really strong for David. Anaconda, David. But I haven't talked about Survivor yet. I watched the episode before I came out. There's now one left, and then it's the finale next week. I liked this episode a lot, but I am disappointed. And I'm disappointed because I last week, I thought I had this episode clocked. And partway through the episode, I thought I had this episode clocked. And I didn't. I was like, okay. They keep building up this knowledge is power advantage. And they keep talking about, you know, like, Soph is really close. Like, they've shown several times how close she is to Rizzo and Savannah. But her also saying, like, I know I can't beat them. I need to do something about it. And, you know, we keep talking about Rizzo's idol. And he never plays it because he never needs to, but we all know about him. Like, oh my goodness, she's going to steal his idol. And it might be actively what sends him home. And wow, what a big move that is going to be. And partway through this episode, I'm like, okay, here's what's going to happen. Savannah's going to win immunity. And then, because she's no longer a target, it's between, like, Sophie and Rizzo. And there's a strong chance that they're just going to target her. And she, I guess, Soph, but now that the other one is gone, she is also Sophie. But she's got to KIP his idol, play it on herself. And because you have to do that before the votes, the idol steal, they're just going to vote Rizzo. And she's like, no, I'm playing this on myself. Like, I have to live. And just, wow, what a move that is. But then it's like, and then even when we get to the, like, the reward, and it's like, all right, you know, it's the three of us. Like, was it like the Tres Leches, I think is what they called themselves. It's like, we got like a strong three. This is our alliance. We're good. We're Gucci. We love each other. And then she's like, I know I was talking about it, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm like, I know you're saying that now, But the letters from home, because you'll see that a lot, where someone's like, all right, this is how I feel, read the letter and be like, okay, I have to go back into game mode, let me do a big move. Like, that's what's going to happen. And then Savannah wins immunity, and I'm like, it's happening, it's starting to happen. And then Soph's like, maybe I should steal Rizzo's idol because I know they're going for me. I'm like, But instead she played it to steal Steven's advantage. So I felt disappointed, and not to say what she did was a bad move. Although, like, if you don't think you can win sitting next to Rizzo and Savannah, then it might not be a good idea to do that, but that's kind of its own thing. But I'm like, that's not a bad move, but Steven's like, the way my advantage works, you can't steal, like, it's already been played. Like, that was good, that was good. But then, I was like, okay, Rizzo, are you going to save her? Are you going to play it for yourself? I'm going to play it for myself, but not tonight. Like, ooh. So if they do want to snipe Rizzo, they can, but they didn't risk it. He could have saved Sophie. He's like, I'm sorry, but like I have to save myself. But then Christina and Sage did end up flipping on Steven because they're like, no, we think he's a bigger threat than Soph or Rizzo. So he's gone. So he's just, well, I mean, I will say, I didn't know Rizzo had told everyone his idol expired at 6. So I thought there was a chance they could still try to snipe him, and I just didn't know that part. Anyways, though, point. Steven is gone. And I do like Steven. I remember saying last week, it's like, I feel like him and Savannah, I could see either of them winning and doing really well in Final Tribal, definitely getting some votes. But I feel like this is either Soph's story or Sage's story. And to me, Soph not pulling that trigger to save herself at Rizzo's expense, I think that loses her the game. Now, maybe it doesn't. I could be totally wrong. Because if it is a final 3 of her, Sage, and Christina, because maybe this is when she ends up turning on Rizzo and Savannah in the next episode, assuming Savannah wins immunity, Rizzo is just going to idol himself and they're both in 4. If Rizzo wins immunity, he might give the idol to Savannah, or he might say, I think you beat me, so I just kind of got to take you out now. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know. But, if she, yeah. I just look at it from, the narrative perspective of the story they're trying to tell. Maybe. But actually, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it more, maybe not. Because if it is her against Sage and Christina, or maybe Sage and Rizzo, or Christina and Rizzo, because I don't think she beats Savannah 100%. But if what she can say at the end is yeah, I had a chance to stab them in the back and I didn't, because this is the kind of game I played. I did decide that since I was loyal to them, I was going to stick with them. Especially if Rizzo does stab Savannah in the back, it could be the kind of thing that gives Soph a lot more consideration. She's like, no, yeah, Rizzo is very much a showman. And I think that's going to turn some jurors against him because they're going to find him really cocky. Because you even saw it here, he does this whole song and dance and doesn't play it, which I can see the gamesmanship in it. Because I remember it was in DVG, there's a bit where Nick plays what he's the execution is a little wonky, but what he's trying to do is, I'm going to play a fake idol on myself because I want to gauge the room's reaction. And if they react in a way that makes me think, oh no, I am actually in danger, I'm playing the real one on me. If they react in a way that doesn't make me think I have to, then I won't play it. But again, the execution was kind of weird, so we still ended up playing the real one even though we didn't need it. And I think Rizzo was maybe going for something like that. But you can see, especially because he's done something similar previously, the jury's starting to get a little sick of him. So Soph might just she might come across as more likable and endearing, while also showing that no, I had enough game sense to know that, I have to turn on them at some point, especially again, she's not sitting next to Savannah, and maybe, she still does help get rid of her at 5, or maybe beats her in fire at 4 or something. But if she can really emphasize I played a loyal game, but I still tried to play a smart game with all the information that I had and when I kept close to the vest, she can still win. But knowledge is power flopping the way it did. Like, it doesn't look great, but even still, like, winners can still have messy moments and still win. I think Sage can still pull this off. Because, like I said, I think it's your story about how she was the outcast on her tribe, but ends up, coming to the top. This rivalry between her and Savannah, which was a very one-sided rivalry, but now it's kind of not so much anymore. Like, I could see that being a really big deal. Savannah, I think, can win if she's at the end, but I just don't think she's going to get there. It's like, to me, she and Steven are like kind of the two final boss-ish characters, and one of them has already been taken out. And like, just with the way other players talk about Christina, you can tell she's not a threat. So I 100% think Christina's going to be in the final 3, unless, like, she loses fire, but I don't see her winning. Maybe she gets, like, a vote from Steven, but I don't think so. Like, I definitely could see Sage getting some votes, Soph getting some votes, Savannah getting votes, and I think Rizzo can get some his way as well. Yeah, I think, like, I've said it several times. I thought the first few episodes of this season were like, it's kind of okay. But once it clicked, it got really, really good. So I'm glad I stuck with it. I'm glad that it's been like, the merge. I can't even just say the merge, because it really, for me, started with the tribe swaps. It's like, once that happened, like, I'm glad it kicked into a really fun gear. Looking forward to the finale next week. I don't know. I guess I'll say one other thing. And this is just kind of getting into more, like, purely personal and kind of vulnerable stuff. But I'm already here. Something that I've become a lot more cognizant of, that I'm trying to be better about, is, I guess, being better about, like, vocalizing where I'm at. Like, what are my wants, my needs, my boundaries, like, that kind of stuff. Like, for example, I talked about how a couple of those blog posts came in, and I was really excited, really happy. And a couple days beforehand, I think it was Saturday. It was like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, one of the 3. I had what I wanted to do was just, like, send a short follow-up email. It was like, hey, wanted to follow up. Hope you're doing all right. This was kind of around the time frame. I was thinking the review was going to come in, like, based on what you had said previously. Just wanted to see if that was still correct. If so, great. Looking forward to it. If not, I understand. Like, people are busy. Holidays in particular, a very busy time. Like, no worries. Just kind of wanted to check. Which is honestly, like, a pretty reasonable thing to say. Like, just follow up and check in. But as I'm sitting there composing the email, I'm like, I feel so, like, self-conscious. And, like, I feel like a selfish jerk asking. And in my head, it's like this, hey, this is, like, the time period where it's supposed to come. You can just be patient and wait for it. Like, you're being really impatient. You're, like, bothering someone. Like, come on, why are you doing that? When in reality, it's a very reasonable just, hey, just wanted to double check. Because there have been times in, like, different situations where I hadn't double checked in a situation. I was genuinely overlooked. Because, sometimes that does happen. And not with any ill intent. Sometimes things genuinely get lost in the shuffle. But I feel weird, and, like, I feel bad. I don't even want to say weird. It's like, I feel bad when I do that. And I'm just trying to be more, I don't want to say more vocal necessarily, but I guess trying to be more aware of those mental shortcomings. And when they pop up, to be able to really look at it and say, like, hey, This is why that's stupid. Because if I'm sending like 12 emails a day to the same person, that's like not okay. If I'm being really rude and like using like foul language, that's not okay. But like in and of itself, like yeah, that's fine. I should feel very comfortable doing so. And just trying to be better about that. I don't know if I figured that out. I don't know if it's gonna stick. But I don't know, it's just kind of been on my mind lately. With that being said, I think that's about it. I would say that overall, like there's some things in my life I wish were better, but there's definitely some things I know could be significantly worse. And I'm thankful that they're not. I know I'm okay. And I know I'm going to continue to be okay. And I'll take that. So, have a good day. Have a good rest of the week, month, season, all that good shit. See?